Before we proceed with our start of Oktoberfest Mania here on DTL SMC this October 1, 2025 on this new track layout for this month. For now, we will now have a moment of silence, mga kadipat, mga kaditian, mga katamiya at mga kababayan. Konting katahimikan lang po muna tayo for para makiramay po tayo sa mga mga naulila, ng mga nasawi doon sa kanina pong umaga na malakas na lindol na tumama po sa Cebu at po ng mga pumanaw ngayong araw na pong ito. So for now, we will now have a moment of silence. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting to you live inside DPAT's laboratory at Barangay Anonas in the city of Ordaneta, the province of Pangasinan, the Republic of the Philippines. This is your host here, Don Patrick D. Paraguay, also a racer, marshal, producer, and director all in one package here for DPAT TV, Don Patrick Aguilar on YouTube. Welcome to our live coverage as we start our Oktoberfest Mania this year 2025 here on DPAT's Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference Season 2. Yosh! Hello mga kadipat and good afternoon to all who are watching this live stream right now, and for those who will be watching anytime here on DPAT TV, Don Patrick Aguilar YouTube channel, streaming live coverage of our DPAT's Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference Season 2 as we start another month of exciting Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive races as we start our Oktoberfest this very first day of October 1, 2025. Once again, Don Patrick D. Aguilar here proudly bringing you all the Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive racing action right here on that new track layout based from the previous track layouts designed by yours truly, Don Patrick D. Paraguay. So as we explain our track layout for this month, well, the starting line will be right here. The starting line is right here, same goes, same as the previous month. So it's going to be on a 90-degree left turn going towards a straight, a small straight, going to another small jump, a small jump, a tabletop with connected to a receiver right there. That's a standard length of a straight track. Going to an alternate left-right turn, going to the lane changer right there. All right. So going to this lane changer, then going towards another 90-degree left turn, going to another straight, long straight, go, and then another set of turns. That's three curves left and one curve going to the right, going towards this one. This is crucial. This is the dragon back right there. And then there are a couple of straight receivers, one long and one short, going towards a small jump, and then going towards a small straight receiver, and then last 90-degree left turn to close out this track layout. You're seeing right now for the full month of October 2025. And as we start our October 1, 2025, yun nga po, kasawiyang palad, puro mga masasakit na pangyayari ang naganap po for this for today. Dahil nga po natamaan nga po kanina madaling araw ng isang magnitude 6.9 earthquake etong lawigan ng Cebu. Yan, yun sa mga nasawi sa na yun, taos pusong pakikiramay from DPAT's Tamiya League doon sa mga nasawi. And also yun sa biglang pagpanaw rin na just a couple of days ago, yung biglang pagpanaw naman ng isa sa mga pinakaalamat sa larangan ng bilyaran. That's none other than the Iceman Mika Immonen of Finland, one of Finland's pride in billiards. Yan, to the bereaved family, we are our thoughts are with you, and of course, deepest sympathy and condolences to his bereaved family due to the sudden passing of the Iceman Mika Immonen. Yan, isa sa mga maraming mga Pinoy ang nakakalaban nitong si itong maalamat na Finnish billiard player na si Mika Immonen. Kilala sa tawag na Iceman. Yung moniker niya eh. Muli po, pakikirami sa mga namatayan po na ngayong nung mga nakaraang mga araw. Yan. At saka magdasal po natin na manatili po tayong ligtas kontra sa lahat ng natural disasters na paparating. Lalo na meron mga paparating na bagyong Paulo na maglalandfall din sa Northern Luzon. Hopefully mataplisan lang tayo ay hindi gaano makakapekto na maluba sa lalawigan ng Pangasinan at sa Baguio City. Of course, yan. So, yan. Alright, so moving on with our live coverage today. Again, please like, follow, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Don Patrick Aguilar. That's DPAT TV, Don Patrick Aguilar on YouTube, at DPAT Tamiya League on TikTok, and DPAT Tamiya League on Facebook. Also, at An Evening with DPAT Aguilar and DPAT Aguilar on Facebook as well. Alright, so yun, yung sa mga bagong subscriber, paki-subscribe po, like, follow, share, subscribe yung mga nabanggit ko pong social media platforms. Alright, so moving on with our live coverage of our first ever Run and Gun Wednesday of the month of October as we start up our Oktoberfest festivities in our season 2 of DTL SMC. We'll start right away our first 7 yun. Nabanggit ko na po sa Dipats Tamirig Facebook page yung sina Zeta, Unicosmos, Cosmo Atomica, Ferreira, Team Makabatari, Papa Roach, and Archer Myrtle racing against each other on 7 at a time. So balik tayo sa dati nating regular scheduling of DTL SMC's live coverage on YouTube. And of course, panibagong buwan. So we are on a new month, new track layout, new challenges coming. So let's see who will come out on top for the month of October 2025 here on DTL SMC. So before we proceed with our race number 1 for today's edition, we will now have a toss line. Last time it was lane 1. I think that's lane 1, lane 2, or lane 2, lane 1, lane 2, lane 1. Previously that was lane 2, lane 1, right? So we'll go with the toss coin first. So it's lane 2 previously. Let's see today. Alright. So in accordance with our toss coin, it's going to be heads. The logo comes out. So therefore, this is lane 1. If this came out, that's lane 2. But since it's the logo, since it's the logo that came out on top, therefore it's going to be lane 1 for the higher seed. Then alternate na po tayo as the race progresses. So from race number 1, lane 1 ang higher seed, lane 2 ang lower seed, and then vice versa na po tayo as we go along on alternate basis. For DPAT's Tamirig Stock Motor Conference, it's an alternate starting lane for all of the cars being played here. And of course, for regular season, the higher seed goes to the designated lane in accordance with the toss coin. Then alternate po tayo niyan, palit. Ganyan. Alternate nga po back and forth. So that is expected to be a back and forth action as we go along. Alright? So without further ado, let's start off first with our race number 1. All right, so I have to put on the flash here, so as to be able to, or us to see what's going to happen here in our start of Oktoberfest edition of DTL SMC Season 2 for the year 2025. So let's start off first with our race number 1. First up, we have here Ferreira, the Brocken Gigant, taking on the Aero Avante TMAC 2024 Special TMAC Avatari. So TMAC Avatari will race first against Ferreira. So in accordance with the average. Yung mga ranking po kasi at the start of our every month, kino-compute ko po yung average ng ating mga auto na sinasali dito. So ano siya? In accordance with the average scoring, Ferreira came as 4th, and yung 5th doon ay si TMAC. So, ganun po yung ranking po nila. So, for this case, in our race number 1, It's going to be Pereira starting at lane 1. And Team Akabatari will start at lane 2. Once again, that's the red lane for Team Akabatari and the blue lane for Pereira as respective starting lanes to kick off our Oktoberfest edition, 9-part months of October 2025 here on DCR SMC. Ladies and gentlemen, mga kadipan, mga kaditial, at mga katamiya at mga kababayan, here now is our race. Number 1. Ready, set, light. Go! Tasi! Tasi! Chokoyong! Draw game. Tasi! Pereira, unang umembang. So siya yung lalaban kay Zeta. Draw game. Pereira, Team Akabatari, draw. Pereira, first out first. Talsik! Pero ang masama si Team Akabatari, si Bak, talsik doon, buti na lang, doon lang. Kaya sabi ko sa inyo, mga rat-rat to eh. Alright, race number 2 right away. Let's just speed up the process as much as we can. Alright? Race number 2 will now feature Cosmo Atomica taking on Papa Roach. Alright. In our race number 2, Cosmo Atomica taking on Papa Roach. It's the battle of Agent Oranges. Yung mga orange agents ang magkalaban sa ating race number 2. This time, it's going to be Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 2 and Papa Roach will start at lane 1. Again, that's Papa Roach at lane 1 and Cosmo Atomica at lane 2 as their respective starting lanes in this race number 2. Ready, set, right. Tapos, ang magtungtog na. Okay, good. Come on. Good. Penultimate lap. On. Final lap. Oy! Galing! Wow! What an impressive display of speed and stability right there. What a way to start October 2025 with Papa Roach emerging victorious over Cosmo Atomica, showing good speed and stability right there. Wow. That was indeed a great one for Papa Roach. Papa Roach won. Race number 3. Okay. Race number 3, right away, it's going to be Unicosmos taking on Archera Myrtle. Alright. Also, shout out to my ultimate crush and my ultimate love of my life, Myrtle Sarasa. I love you so much, always, forever. Take care always. Lalo na sa pagpunta mo sa Baguio on Sunday. Yan. Because of the cosplay event which will take place at Baguio Country Club. Yan. Sa Baguio City, the province of Benguet. Alright. The home of the Ambuklaw and Binga Dams in the Philippines. Alright. In our race number 3, Unicosmos takes on Archera Myrtle, wherein Unicosmos will start at lane 1, Archera Myrtle at lane 2, so that's contrast to what the respective color designs. It's going to be Unicosmos starting at the blue lane or lane 1, and Archera Myrtle at lane 2 or the red lane in this race number 3. Ready, set, bye. Alright! Okay. Grabe, biglang lakas. Oink! Biglang lakas, grabe. Dragon, rat-rat to. Sabi ko sa inyo eh. Sabi ko sa inyo, magiging rat-rat to eh. Draw. With the Archera Myrtle coursing out first. Officials timeout. Lagyan lang natin ng dagdag na tape yung nandun sa lane changer. Meron pa tayong tape dito, marami pa. Officials timeout. Officials timeout. Official stain. Yan. By the way, my uniform right now, shout out to RJ Baldonado Peronza and the rest of Team Eat and Wine Tamiya. Yan, unfortunately, hindi ako makakapunta sa 5 dahil sa, ano, sa Speed Tech versus X-Tac. Unfortunately, I cannot go there. I cannot afford to go to Mapandaan simply because of other commitment. Prior commitment, that's the main reason. Alright. Race number 4 will now feature Zeta, the two-time champion of the month this season of DTL SMC, taking on Ferreira. So that's a race between the Let's End Go villains, the Spider Zeta, taking on the Bracken Giant Ferreira in this race number 4, wherein Zeta will start at lane 2, Ferreira at lane 1. Once again, that's Ferreira starting at lane 1, and Zeta will start at lane 2 in this race number 4. Ready, set, bye. Begin. Good. Draw game. Pumili. Pumili. Na naman. Gumagalaw yung ano, gulong talaga. Malas. Makapag-ipit, magkahanap na naman ng ibang ano. Gandang gulong. Not the time for any lull situation. Draw game. Race number 5. Okay, lagok muna tayo. Race number 5, right away. Race number 5 will now feature T-Mac Avatari taking on Paparoch. So it's the race between the limited edition car kits in our race number 5. The limited edition Aero Avante T-Mac 2024 taking on this limited edition slash Reaper Clear Orange Special in Paparoch. And in this matchup, it's going to be identical with their respective color designs. T-Mac Avatari at lane 1 or the blue lane, and Paparoch will start at the red lane or lane 2. Once again, it's T-Mac Avatari starting at lane 1 and Paparoch starting at lane 2 in this race number 5. Ready, set, fight. Draw. Halagat tak. Hagalpak. Hagalpak si Imak Abatari. Aray ko. Sakit. Ay. Ano pala, no? Loser. No, si Paparoch yung unang umembang eh. Tama. Draw. Sino yung unang umembang? Paparoch. Race number 6. Race number 6 will now feature Cosmo Atomica taking on Archera Myrtle. So it's Cosmosonic versus Blast Arrow in our race number 6. And in this matchup, it's going to be Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 2, Archera Myrtle starting at lane 1. So that's identical again with their respective color designs. The blue lane or lane 1 for Archera Myrtle. And for Cosmo Atomica, it's going to be the red lane or lane 2 as the respective starting lanes for our race number 6. Ready, set, bye. Nakabak. Tapos, ang Magnum Tornado. Yun din, doon. Tinapos din yung Magnum Tornado. Aray ko. Napurnada yung Magnum Tornado. Yun yung sinasabi ko, yung Magnum Tornado, papunta doon sa lane change, tapos doon sa cross lane sa kabila. Gagal. Pag lane 2, maganda pag lane 1 ka mag-start, tapos biglang buying! Buying! Missile attempt. Parang missile attempt. Doon sa ibang mga racing center ang tawag nila doon, missile attempt.
Missile attempt sana. Ang ganda. Sarap sigurong panoorin. Cosmo Archer. Draw. Draw. So parehong tabla si Archer Myrtle sa kambal na Cosmo Sonics. Pero of course, si Archer Myrtle ang unang umimbang. Next. Race number 7. Race number 7 will now feature Unicosmos taking on Ferreira. Alright. In our race number 7, it's the Sonic against Broken Gigant. For our race number 7, wherein Unicosmos will start at lane 1, Ferreira at lane 2. Once again, Ferreira starting at lane 2, Unicosmos starting at lane 1 in this race number 7. Ready, set, fight. Lahat. Tapos, yung Magnum Tornado. Okay, yun din. Tinapos din yung Magnum Tornado. Maganda sana kung Magnum Tornado eh. Magnum Tornado attempt. Tapos dapat mababa na gano'n, ikot, tapos ikot, tapos gano'n, single Magnum Tornado. Si Unicosmos unang umimbang. Ay, tapos na pala. Ferreira na. Diyan na pala si Ferreira. Unicosmos scores out first. Tama. Ferreira. Puro draw Buti na si Papa Roach nagtino. Tapos Ferreira, Unicosmos. Next. Race number 8. Race number 8 will now feature Zeta the Spider taking on the Cockroach Papa Roach. So it's the race between the insects mangyayari dito sa ating race number 8. Gagamba laban sa ipis. Ang ating race number 8. And in this matchup, Zeta will start at lane 2, Papa Roach will start at lane 1. Again, that's Papa Roach starting at lane 1, Zeta starting at lane 2 in this race number 8. Ready, set, bye. Good. Ma! Hoy, nakaya pa. Penultimate na. Panalo. Wow, ang ganda laban. Ayun, nakulo. Umihi yan, sayang. Wow! Ibang klaseng laro yun, mga kadipat. Wow! Did you see that coming, ladies and gentlemen? Holy smoke! What burst of speed and stability displayed by both Zeta and Papa Roach. But unfortunately, at the final lap, kinapos lang yung landing. Nung nagkamali ng landing, buti na lang, nabalance pa. Kaya lang, atrasado na para habulin si Zeta. And in that, on that note, Zeta will be emerging victorious over Papa Roach. Wow! Ibang klase mga kadipat. Ibang klaseng race yung nakita natin doon. Sayang nga lang, nadali. Nadali si Papa Roach eh. Malas. Zeta won over Papa Roach. First loss. So splitting all three. Itong si Papa Roach so far. Yung nanonood, shout out. Thank you very much for watching our live coverage of DCL SNC Season 2. Once again, welcome to DPAC TV. Alright, race number 9. Race number 9 will now feature Cosmo Atomica taking on T-Mac Avatari. Alright. In our race number 9, Cosmo Atomica takes on Tamiya Avatari, and in this matchup, it's going to be contrasting colors, contrast to what their respective color designs are. It's going to be Cosmo Atomica starting at the blue lane or lane 1, and Tamiya Avatari will start at lane 2, that's the red lane. Again, it's Cosmo Atomica at the blue lane and Tamiya Avatari at the red lane as their respective starting lanes for this race number 9. Ready, set, fight! Patay, pare! Go! Aray ko. Parehong nagmamaw yung mga Cosmosonic natin. Pati si Timac Abatari sumabay. Biglang Magnum Boost. Tapos tuloy yung Magnum Tornado. Yun talaga yung crucial, yun dun sa kanan. Bago pumunta dun sa lane changer. Pero dun sa jump, walang problema. Ayos lang. Sino unang membang doon? Timac. Papa Roach, Timac. Tapos na. Cosmo, Papa Roach. Tapos na parehas. Papa Roach, Timac Abatari, Cosmo Atomica. Tapos na. Ay, hintay. Maghihintay yan. Maghihintayan silang dalawa. O yung matalo, tapat kay, matalo, tapat kay Timac Abatari. Ay, hindi, si Archie Ramertal nang tatapatan niya, Timac Abatari. Tapos si Pereira dito sa kabila. O yung manalo, pupunta dito pala. Ano to, loser. Loser harapin ni Papa Ross na next. Sino yung first na, umimbang? Abatari. Tama, dito. Timac Abatari. Puro tabla kay Timac Abatari. Race number 10. Okay. Race number 10 will now feature Ferreira taking on Archera Myrtle. Alright. It's Black and Gigant versus Blast Arrow in our race number 10. And in this matchup, it's going to be Ferreira starting at lane 2, Archera Myrtle at lane 1. So that's identical with their respective colors. The blue lane, it's going to be Archera Myrtle, and at the red lane, it's Ferreira as their respective starting lanes in this race number 10. Ready, set, bye. Wala na lagi. Ito ba? Login. Aray ko. Tapos, ang Magnum Tornado. Kabung. China Pose. Draw. Draw game. Huling umembang si Si... Unang umembang si unang umembang. Archera. Tama. So, siya tatapat kaya Papa Roach pala. At si yan, tapos na siya doon. Dito, Pereira tatapat kay Cosmo. Yun. Draw between Pereira and Archera. Kaya lang, unang umembang si Archera pa rin. Okay. Race number 11. Race number 11 will now feature Zeta taking on Uni Cosmos. It's the race between the Champion of the Month awardees this season 2 of BTL SMC. So far, sila pa lang yung nagiging champion, Champion of the Month. July, si Uni Cosmos, at nung August at September, si Zeta for 2 straight months. And in this race between the Champion of the Month awardees, it's going to be Zeta starting at lane 2, Uni Cosmos, Zeta at lane 1 rather. Zeta will start at lane 1, Uni Cosmos starting at lane 2 again. Zeta at lane 1, Uni Cosmos at lane 2 as their respective starting lanes in this race number 11. Ready, set, bye. Aha! Penultimate lap. Gode, sana ka ba tumbang jaman ng grey tong. Tasik. Tasik. Takoy. Tumbalelong. Parehong tumbalelong doron. Aray ko po. Aray ko. Una umembang si Uni Cosmos, di ba? Ano na yan? Winner. Dito na siya. Yan, dyan na siya. Tama. Tapos si Zeta maiwan doon. Yun. Loser pala. Winner pala. Sorry. Winner pala. Winner pala. Mangyayari. O, yung winner pala. Kasi yung kanina, loser eh. Loser yun eh. Red kay Unicosmos. Unicosmos yung unang member. Zeta draw. Unicosmos draw. Ang ganda sana eh. Talsik lang eh. Pakoy! Direk. Race number 12. Race number 12 po natin. Papa Roach will take on Archera Myrtle. Alright. In our race number 12, it's going to be Papa Roach starting at lane 2. Archera Myrtle starting at lane 1. Again, it's going to be at the blue lane for Archera Myrtle and Papa Roach at the red lane as their respective starting lanes for this race number 12. Lakas talaga. Ready, set, bye. Tornado. Go. Bitin yung Magnum Tornado. Ang baba kasi ng talon eh. Bitin yung Magnum Tornado. Bitin yung Magnum Tornado. Bitin yung Magnum Tornado. Loser. Op, tapos na. Yan eh, susunod. Isa na lang pala yung roller ni Archer. May bali, ilaban na natin yan. Ilaban na lang natin. Archer Papa Roach, draw. Pero yung unang umimbang, si Papa Roach ang unang umimbang this time. Okay. So, 12 na. Down to 9 na lang. Okay, race number 13. Zeta Timak. Race number 13 will now feature Zeta taking on Timak Avatari. Alright. In our race number 13, Zeta versus Timak Avatari. And in this matchup, it's going to be Zeta starting at lane 1, Timak Avatari starting at lane 2. Okay? It's Zeta starting at lane 1, Timak Avatari starting at lane 2 in this race number 13. Ready, set, bye. Aray mo! Ready! So, again, pero this time, si Zeta ang unang umimbang. Zeta unang umimbang. Nahuli. After a team up, di pa tapos. Ayun, good. Si Archer at si ano na lang. Si Archer at si Cosmo Atomica na lang yung natitirang assignment ni Zeta. First to course out was Zeta. Bago umimbang si Tima Kabatari. Kasi si Tima Kabatari naka-recover pa eh. Okay. Tima Kabatari, remaining assignments, Archera and Unicosmos. Okay. Race number 14, right away. Race number 14 will now feature Cosmo Atomica taking on Ferreira. And in this race number 14, it's going to be Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 2, Ferreira starting at lane 1. Again, that's Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 2 and Ferreira starting at lane 1 in this race number 14. Ready, set, fight. Okay.
Kapudugong ng girumbang ng dinding.
Palakal-gulong ng kumpang ding-ding-ding-ding. Tusok. Tusok sila eh, tusok. Tungoy. Draw again. Draw. No winner. Si ano ba yun? Unang umembang doon. Cosmo Atomica. Ayun, tama. Zeta Cosmo, hindi pa tapos. Yun, tama. Okay. Tama, draw pala. Cosmo Ferreira, draw pala dito sa gitna. Ayun. Last assignment for Pereira will be against Papa Roach. So, yun yung last assignment niya pala. Sino unang membang? Cosmo. Okay. Race number 15. Okay. Race number 15 right away. Unicosmos will take on Papa Roach in our race number 15. And in this matchup, it's going to be Unicosmos starting at lane 1, Papa Roach lane 2. Okay? Unicosmos starting at lane 1, Papa Roach starting at lane 2 in this race number 15. Ready, set, bye. Ay, banakawon, banakawon. Alrighty. Penultimate lap, final lane changer. Good. Final lap. Okay, oh, winner. Dalawa na. Nakadalawa. Papa Roach, nakadalawa. Lumalawa na. Patay tayo dyan. Nani. Alright. Papa Roach with a major upset victory over Unicosmos. Okay. Ayun, last assignment, Papa Roach. Papa Roach, yun na rin nata last assignment. Ay, hindi, may isa pa. Si ano pa, ang last na kalaban niya, si... Ay, hindi, tama. Last assignment na ni ano, Papa Roach, Pereira. Yun din, same with Pereira, last assignment. Parehas. Parehas pala. Okay. So, sila yung unang ano, tatapos. Unicosmos lost to Papa Roach. Nalamatan ng pula. Aray, kupu. Bugong. Okay, next. Race number 16. Taba, Archera, Timak. Archera, Timak. Race number 16. It's going to be Timak, Avatari versus Archera, Myrtle. Alright, so labanan to ng mga ano. Labanan ng mga limited edition na model. Ating race number 16. And in this matchup, it's going to be Timak Avatari starting at lane 2, Archera Myrtle starting at lane 1. Again, that's Timak Avatari at the red lane or lane 2, and Archera Myrtle at the blue lane or lane 1 as their respective starting lanes in this race number 16. Ready, set, fight. Jogging. 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 Unicosmos last assignment. Okay. Last 5 races. Down to our last 5 races. Archera. First draw si Timak. Timak Avatari yung first embang. Mukhang magkakaroon tayo ng tiebreaker. Posible tayo magkaroon ng tiebreaker. Last assignment ni Archera, Zeta. Tapos si ano naman, si Timak Avatari, Unicosmos last. Ayun, tama. Okay, race 17. Si Zeta may dalawa pa, no? Oo. Cosmo Atomica, meron pang, ay, isa na lang pala. Sino may dalawa pa, if ever? Wala pa, wala na. Sige. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. After ni Zeta, si Unicosmos pa. Ay, oo. Okay. Posibleng yun na yung last. 19, 20, 20. Ayun, sakto. Sakto. Okay. Race number 17 right away. We have here Zeta taking on Cosmo Atomica. Alright. In our race number 17, it's going to be Zeta starting at lane 1. Cosmo Atomica lane 2. Again. Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 2 right here at the outer lane. And at the inner lane or lane 1, that's going to be starting lane of Zeta in this race number 17. Ready, set, fight! Inaya, inaya. Oy! Light. Penultimate lap. Finally, Daniel! Still good. Final lap. Panalo! Winner! That was indeed a nice run, ladies and gentlemen, mga katipat, mga kadetail at mga katamiya. We have seen Cosmo Atomica stabilizing its way to finish 6 laps against Zeta, eventually emerging victorious. Cosmo Atomica versus Zeta. It's a win. It was indeed a win for Cosmo Atomica. Naputol din yung sumpa. Sabay ganun. Naputol yung sumpa. Aray ko. Buti na lang gumapang si doon. Cosmo Atomica. Something na hindi nagawa ni Cosmos kanina. So Zeta. Tapos ang final assignment ni Zeta ni Cosmos, si Cosmos, yung kambal niyang yung kambal na Cosmosonic, maghaharap yan sa race 21 later. Yun yung last race natin. Battle of Cosmosonics. Race number 18, right away. Okay. Race number 18 will now feature Ferreira versus Paparoch. So this is their final assignment. Final assignment for today's Run and Gun Wednesday single round robin. And for this matchup, it's going to be Ferreira starting at lane 2, Paparoch lane 1. Again, it's going to be Paparoch starting at lane 1. And, excuse me, Paparoch starting at lane 1. And Ferreira will be starting at lane 2 in this race. Number 18. Ready, set, bye. Penultimate lap, final lane changer. Ayun, throw. Emma. Aray ko. Go game. Ilapon. Talagang napura sa camera eh. Gabi naman yun. Gabi na yung tasik. Lumusot lang doon. Grabe mga kadipat. Ang nangyari doon, pagtalan niya na lang. Lumusot lang sa camera. Lumusot lang sa ilalim ng dragon back. Lumabas. Parang sabi, nasa Yonachi. Parang nagsayonachi si Papa Roach eh. Yung sabi, sayonachi technique, sayonachi nilas ko, uwi na ako. Sabay ka. Alright, kidding aside mga kadiba, that's for your entertainment. Yan, nilagyan lang natin ng katatawanan kay konting comedy man lang, no? So, both Papa Roach and Ferreira will close out the single round robin this Wednesday in a draw. Alright, so who course out first? Papa Roach. Papa Roach coursed out first. So siya may red mark. Buti nga, draw lang eh. Pero si Pereira, draw lahat. Draw lahat, 6. Alright, race number 19. It's the race between my backstock entries. Itong ating race number 19, Unicosmos taking on T-Mac Avatari. Ito yung mga yung mga nang uubos ng polycard. Mga nang uubos ng copper pang, nang uubos ng copper pang, DCR Auto, ng Play Mascot, ng Inhawk, ng Abante. Ano pa ba inubos nito? Try-dagger din, minsan. Nakatago rin ng try-dagger sa Team Avatari. Pero most of the wins talaga si Unicosmos, pinakamaraming inubos, Cyclone Magnum. Aray ko. Pinag-uubos yung mga polycard eh. Alright, so ating race number 19, it's going to be Unicosmos versus Team Avatari. We're in Unicosmos will start at lane 1, Team Avatari at lane 2, so that's contrast to what their respective colors are. it's going to be the blue lane or lane 1 for Unicosmos, and at the red lane or lane 2, it's going to be Tima Avatari in this race number 19. Ready, set, bye. Maraming bitin pa rin. Okay. Drop. Nauna si Unicosmos umembang. Unicosmos embang. Ayun, dito yan. Mas, may isa pa yan eh. Di makabatari, tapos na. First to course out, Unicosmos. Timak. Puro draws lahat. Puro draw. Puro draw din. 6 points. Penultimate race of the single round robin, this Run and Gun Wednesday edition. It's going to be Zeta taking on Archera Mertel. So yung mga DP magkalaban na sa ating race number 20. So I have to sit a little while. I have to sit down for a little while simply because they both have rotating switches. So for our race number 20, it's going to be Zeta starting at lane 2 right here because it's higher seed dito si Zeta, tapos even number ngayon race 20. Sa red lane ang higher seed. So in this case, Zeta will start at lane 2. Archer Amerto here will start at lane 1. Again, Archer Amerto here starting at lane 1. And Zeta will start at lane 2 in this 28th and penultimate race of our single round robin, this Run and Gun Wednesday edition. Ready, set, bye. Aray, dropping. Patikpak. Aray ko. Aray ko. Pukuy. Tugong. Talsik. Talsik. Si Zeta dun. Buti na lang dun yung landing. Pokong. Sabi ko sa inyo, ratratan to eh. Panay embang. Aray ko. Embang Legends. Welcome to Embang Legends. Sino yung unang umembang? Archera. Archera yun. Kasi ano eh, lane 1 eh. Yung si Zeta naka-recover pa eh. Naka-recover pa si Zeta eh. Tama. First score start, Archera. Finally, but definitely not the least in our race number 21, the 21st and final race single round robin today. We got here Unicosmos taking on Atomica, the twin Cosmosonics going at it in our last race of our single round robin today. And in this matchup, it's going to be Unicosmos starting at lane 1, Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 2 once again. Unicosmos at lane 1 and Cosmo Atomica at lane 2 as their respective starting lanes in this 21st and final race of the single round robin, this Run and Gun Wednesday edition. Ready, set, bye. Okay. Good. Ay, bitin. Drogging. Bumitin. Napasobra sa lipat. Bugoing. Shagoing. Drogging. Pero si Cosmo yung unang umembang. Cosmo unang embang dyan. Cosmo Atomica unang embang. Ay. Bakit green? So there you have it. So that wraps up our single round robin for today's edition of DTL SMC Season 2 this October 1, 2025. So at the end of 21 races, we're now down to our decision making. Which of these cars will enter the first semi-finals rounds and going to the race for third in championship race later on. All these and more Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive racing action when DPAT's Tamiya League Season 2 of Stock Motor Conference returns after a short break. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Don Patrick P. Paragular here, proudly bringing you back to Debat's Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference Season 2. Unfortunately, we still have a tiebreaker pace between for the fourth and final semifinals slot. So one slot left, and that is the fourth seed. So play-in. So meron tayong play-in na mangyayari between Pereira, Tima Cavatari, and Archera Myrtle. So decided na po kung sino yung nanguna at nangulela. So si Papa Roach ang nanguna with 7 points. Cosmo Atomica dead last with 5 points. 1 loss, 5 draws. Si Papa Roach naman 2 wins, 1 loss, 3 draws. Total of 7, top seed. Tapos pero may 5-way tie between Zeta, Cosmo Atomica, Pereira, Tima Cavatari, and Archera Myrtle. Parehong 6 points apiece. But when it comes to number of wins, both Zeta and Cosmo Atomica got 1 win each. Pero, ang maganda lang doon, naglaban sina Cosmo at Zeta, nanalo si Cosmo Atomica against Zeta, so therefore Cosmo Atomica garnered the second seed. Zeta is now relegated to the third seed. So, ang natira na lang ngayon ay ang fourth and final semi slot. So it will this will be battled out between Ferreira, Tima Cavatari, and Archera Myrtle. Dahil lahat ng kanilang 6 points sila lahat tabla, and against each other, 1 each. Unang embang, tigisang unang embang. So, against each other. So, we will now have a tiebreaker race. So, magkano yan, yung parang play-in. Speaking of play-in, yun na nga, play-in na po tayo sa Maharlika Philippines Basketball League Season 7 tomorrow at Robert Estrella Gymnasium in Rosales, the province of Pangasinan. The Pangasinan Heatwaves will make another homestand. This time for the right to face Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards in the first round of the MPBL playoffs this year. So, babalik ng Pangasinan bukas, tapos sa South naman dun sa Mindoro. Mindoro naman gagawin yung play-in tournament. 1 miss you yun. Pag natalo ka, out ka na. Pero kung sa 7 versus 8 ka, kung talo, may isa pa. 1 more chance. Ang matatalo, lalabanan yung survivor ng 9-10. Yan yung mangyayari. Same goes to South. Alright, so without further ado, tiebreaker. Tiebreaker tayo between Ferreira and Tima Cavatari. Alright, so repeat of race 1 ito. Itong una. So ang priority lane 1. So, ang unang nabunot natin, lane 1. So, ano yan? Ang priority lane dyan, lane 1. So, kanina, lane 1 si Pereira. O, yun ulit. Yun ulit yan. Pag ganyan mga 3-way tie, tapos tabla against each other, ang mangyayari dyan, yung priority lane. Ang tinatawag natin priority lane, kung ano yung starting lane nung una. So, for this case, it's lane 1. So, winner's break. Kung sino manalo, kanya yung lane 1 against the other. Okay, so for this case, again, Ferreira back at lane 1, Tima Cavatari lane 2, switch on. Ready, set, bye. Last card standing, apply. Good. Okay. 3. Pereira, 1-0. Pereira, 1-0. Ngayon, pag unang umembang si Tima Cavatari dito, di kanya na yung kanya na yung lane 1. If ever na maunang umembang si dito, si Tima Cavatari against Archera Myrtle, yun na yun. Bagsak si Tima Cavatari, si back din. So si Avatari lang yung maiiwan na backstop entry mangyayari. By the way, sina Avatari at Stargate pa pala yung mga natirang kasali. Anyway, I don't know kung may madaragdag sa darating na Monday. Let's see. Okay. So again, shout out sa Team Eat Unwind Tamiya and also to TNR, United Tamiya North Racers yan. Shout out, unfortunately on October 5 I cannot go. I cannot afford to go in Mapandan. May lang ako prior commitment. Alright. Next race. So, lane 1 kay... No. Pereira pala, sorry. Pereira, lane 1 ulit. Lane 1 ulit against Archera Myrtle this time. Okay, switch on. 1 win away. So Pereira, kung sakaling matalo pa niya si Archer Myrtle dito, yun na ang papasok. So, baliwala na yung isa. Okay. Ready, set, bye. Okay. Winner. Pereira last. Si Pereira yung last na papasok. Yun na yun. That's it. Game over. That's it. So, that's it. So, kahit anong mangyari doon between so, whatever happens to the next race, which is, for placing na lang. O, sige, for placing na lang to, i-prepare. For positioning na lang to. So, agawan na lang sa, agawan sa number 5, kaka 6. Itong sina Archer Amarito, kaka si, Timac Avatari. So, for this case, ang higher seed, lane 1. Higher seed, lane 1, si Timac. Seater. Ito, for placing na lang to. Ready, set, bye. Good. Okay, T-Mac number 6. T-Mac number 6, Archer American, T-Mac number 5, Archer American number 6. Yan. So, yan. Ang pinaglabanan dito yung last, semi-slot. So, it's official. So, since both Pereira won against both Timac Abatari and Archer Myrtle, therefore, Pereira will be the last semi-finalist going to our knockout rounds for today's edition. So, nakuha niya yung 4th seed, so siya yung lalaban kay Papa Roach later. And then, yung sina Timac Abatari at si Archer Myrtle, tanggal. Tanggal sila. Ang top 4 lang kasing kinukuha. Sa kaso kasing ito, yung last semis ticket ang pinaglabanan. What time is it? It's 6:12. So, kailangan madalinan po natin. So, Pereira will be number 4. And then number 5, si Timac Abatari, Archer number 6. Alright. No hit. Buti na lang, walang hit na nangyari. Alright. So, that's it. So, it's official. The semi-finalists for today's Run and Gun Wednesday edition to start off our Oktoberfest edition of DTL SMC Season 2. We have Papa Roach at the top seed. Second seeded car will be Cosmo Atomica. Third seeded car Zeta. And the fourth and final seeded car for the semi-final rounds, it's going to be Ferreira the Broken G. Alright. So without further ado, let's start off first with Pereira taking on Papa Roach in our first semi-finals matchup. Alright. Without further ado, let's proceed right away with our semifinals number 1. It's going to be Papa Roach versus Ferreira for our semifinals number 1. And in this matchup, it's going to be Ferreira starting at lane 1. And Papa Roach lane 2. Again, Papa Roach will start at lane 2. Ferreira starting at lane 1. O ayan, 2-1, 2-1 mangyayari dyan. Ito rin. Okay. Pwede natin ipan yung mga makina. Alright, once again, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to all of you. Don Patrick T. Pelagada here with the call here on DTL SMC Season 2. And we are now in our semi-finals round. So we are now in the knockout stage of this Run and Gun Wednesday edition to start up our Oktoberfest festivities this month of October 2025. And without further ado, it's now time for our semi-finals number 1. Ready, set, bye. Okay, continue. Feel good? Penultimate lap. Final lane changer. On to the final lap we go. That was perfect. That was well executed. What a connection. What a connection. Wow. Biglang tumirik lang si Ferreira sa... Ayun eh. Biglang tumirik na naman eh. All right. So at the end of those of that six lap race in the semifinals number one, Papa Roach will emerge victorious over Ferreira to capture the first finals stint. The first finals stint of October 2025. First of the nine, actually. So this is the first of the nine pairs of finals ticket. Yan, nakakuha na yung isa ni Papa Roach who will face Papa Roach in the championship race later on. We will find it out right away as Cosmo Atomica, the second seeded car, takes on Zeta, the third seeded car, in our semifinals number 2. And for this matchup, it's going to be Zeta starting at lane 2. Cosmo Atomica lane 1. Again, it's going to be Zeta starting at lane 2, Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 1. Okay. Kukuha na ako ng dumi kasi dinudumihan ko na kasi para hindi magtalbog-talbog yung mga auto. Ito, wala na talaga. Wala tayong magagawa dyan. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, mga kabiban, mga ka-DTL at mga Tamiya, here now is our semifinals number 2. Ready, set, bye! Okay, right on. Three race last man. Last man. Oh, last car nila, last car standing. Ay, sorry. Wala, kukuha ko na ng dumi. Kailangan magdumi. Alright. Remaining at the respective starting lane pag re-race. Alright. Re-race in our semifinals number 2. The last car standing concept will be applied here to determine the finalists. Oh, a piece of time out. Wait. Sagabal dito. Pasensya na. My apologies. Meron po tayo nakitang sagabal. Officials time out muna tayo. May nalaglag na roller. Ayun, sabi ko eh. Yung roller ni Archie Metal to. Nalaglag. Aray ko. Puti na lang nakita. Puti na lang nakita ko. Alright. So, restart ulit tayo sa ating semis 2. Ready, set, bye. Okay, Zeta advances. So it's going to be Zeta advancing to the championship race, the first ever championship race of October 2025 here on DTL SMC Season 2. Zeta emerging victorious over Cosmo Atomica to face Papa Roach rather. Si Papa Roach na pala kalaban niya sa championship. Pumirik lang si Ferreira eh. Sayang. Kasi si Cosmo Atomica, si Papa Roach nagtuloy-tuloy, luckily nagtalita. Magandang magiging laban natin mamaya sa championship race. But before we proceed to the exciting championship race coming up in just a little bit, we now have our race for the bronze. Race for the bronze will now feature the second seeded car Cosmo Atomica taking on the fourth seeded Ferreira. Alright, Super Sport in the championship race is going to be 1 versus 3. Top seeded car, the top seeded car Papa Roach taking on the third seeded car Zeta. And then this matchup is going to be Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 2. And Ferreira will start at lane 1. Again, Ferreira starting at lane 1, Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 2. Wala na talagang wala nang option. No more options. Naku. Meron na ito talaga si Ferreira dito. Di ba, papalitan ko na lang ng Hanapan ko na lang ng kapalit. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, mga kadipat, mga ka-detail at mga katamiya at ating mga kababayan at let's get ready to rumble here in this race for the bronze or race for third here in our Run and Gun Wednesday edition of DTL SMC. This is October 1, 2025. First, to make 6 laps. So this is 6 laps all the way. Ready, set, bye. Read it. Re-race, last man. Last car standing. Magali pa. Okay, re-race, last man. Diyan lang hahaba yung race natin eh, yung mga re-race last man. Sa playoffs lang yun magtatagal. Diyan lang medyo hahaba yung laro. Okay. Alright, we-start po tayo sa ating race for the bronze. The last car standing concept will be applied here to determine the bronze honoris, bronze winner. Ready, set, bye. Okay, winner, Pereira. Winner. Winner na pala. Winner. Bago pa yung hit na yan, winner na. Okay. So at the end of that race for the bronze, sa pagtatapos ng race for the bronze na yon, it's going to be Ferreira emerging victorious over Cosmo Atomica. So first point on aggregate for Ferreira to start up the Oktoberfest edition of DTL SMC Season 2 for the year 2025. Alright. Before we proceed to our championship race, inom muna. Alright. It's now time mga kadipat to brace ourselves for our championship race. It's going to be the top seeded Papa Roach, the cockroach taking on the Spider Zeta. So 1 versus 3 matchup ang ating labanan sa ating championship race. The first of the 9 championship races of October 2025 here on DCL SMC Season 2. And for this matchup, it's going to be Zeta starting at lane 2, Papa Roach lane 1. Again, Papa Roach starting at lane 1, Zeta starting at lane 2. Ulang na. Ulang na. Come. Alright. So we're all set mga kadipat. So ladies and gentlemen, mga kadipat, mga kaditian, mga katamiya, and mga kababayan, let's get ready to rumble here in this championship race. The first of the 9 championship races for the month of October 2025 to culminate our Run and Gun Wednesday festivities here on DCL SMC Season 2. First, to make 6 laps. Ready, set, bye. Okay. Penultimate lap. Final lap. Oh! What a victory! What a victory! What a way to wrap up our Run and Gun Wednesday edition to start up our Oktoberfest festivities here on the CLSNC Season 2 with Papa Roach emerging as our new champion to start up October 2025 here on DTL SMC Season 2. Papa Roach emerging victorious over Zeta to capture the first of the 9 championships of October 2025. Wow! What a finish! Hi, what a finish! What a finish, ladies and gentlemen. Hiningal ka ba yung inyo pong lingkod? Hilo na yung baby lolo nyo. Nahilo na yung baby lolo nyo, mga kadipat. Oh, lady smoke. Wow! So, at the end of our, as we recap our Run and Gun Wednesday edition of DTL SMC, this October 1, 2025, we got Zeta, Unicosmos, Cosmo Atomica, Ferreira, Timac Avatari, Papa Roach, and Archer Myrtle battled it out. In the 21 races of the single round robin, after those 21 races, it went out to be Papa Roach on top with 7 points total. Then a 5-way tie at the second, third, and fourth places between Zeta, Cosmo Atomica, Ferreira, Timac Avatari, and Archer Myrtle. But due to the number of wins, both Zeta and Cosmo Atomica won at least one race. Pero dun sa win over the other na yon, si Cosmo Atomica nanalo laban kay Zeta. So therefore, it's going to be it went out to be Cosmo Atomica garnered the second seed, Zeta relegated to the third seed. At yung fourth seed pinaglabanan pa ni na Timac Avatari, Ferreira at Archer Myrtle, wherein Ferreira won in a single overtime play-in, single play-in between the three of them. Ferreira won against both Timac Avatari and Archer Myrtle. So Ferreira got the semifinals ticket to the semifinals, and dun sa semifinals matchup natin, Papa Roach versus Ferreira was the matchup, Cosmo Atomica versus Zeta in the other semifinal race. And in the race for third, Cosmo Atomica battled against against Ferreira. And after those last car standing races, actually yung semifinals 2 at saka yung race for the bronze natin, na uwi sa last car standing, na kinailangan yung unang umimbang. Yung unang umimbang talo. Ganun. So dun sa last car natin, nanalo si Zeta, nakalusot doon sa last car standing laban ni Cosmo Atomica, samantalang doon sa race for the bronze, talo si Cosmo Atomica, si Ferreira na iwang tumatakbo. So Ferreira was able to get its first aggregate point this month of October 2025 with a third place finish. Ferreira finished third place. And then sa championship race natin, Battle of Insects ang nangyari, Spider versus Cockroach ang nangyari, at nanalo ang Ipis laban sa Gagamba. Papa Roach was able to finish 6 laps upon seeing Zeta coursing out. Actually, hindi naman talaga course out, na side show lang. Hindi na nakabalik. Na 3 seconds, na bilangan ng tatlo. Itong si, na 1, 2, 3, itong si Zeta, hindi na nakabalik after 3 counts. So, at the count of 3, Zeta was unable to go back on track. And eventually, Papa Roach emerging as the champion for today's Run and Gun edition of the Run and Gun Wednesday edition of DTL SMC Season 2. So yung mga podium finishers po natin for today, Papa Roach as champion, Zeta as Papa Roach the Slash Reaper as number 1 champion. Second placer I see Zeta, and Zeta the Big Spider, and the third placer is Ferreira the Bracken Giant. So 3, 2, and 1 point. 3 points, 2 points, 1 point respectively to start off our Oktoberfest Mania here on DTL SMC Season 2. Alright, so this wraps up our live coverage of our exciting Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive racing action here on DTL SMC Season 2 this October 1, 2025. And once again, Don Patrick D. Paraguay here for now signing off. Thanking you so much to all who watched and whoever will watch anytime on this exciting live stream of DPAT's Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference Season 2. So for now, I leave you a pleasant Run and Gun Wednesday evening to all of you. And as always, stay safe and healthy, avoid negative vices, especially drugs and all other negativities around you. Protect yourself from all those negativities at all times and at all costs as well. As always, huwag kakalimutan na magdasal palagi sa Panginoon. Huwag kayong bibitaw, kapit lang kay Jesus, huwag sa kalaban. Alright. So once again, to God be all the glory and honor. God bless all of us. God bless our beloved Maharlika Nation. And God bless the entire world and all of us Filipinos across the globe. And like I always remind each and every true Filipino across the globe, love the Philippines. Mahalin po natin ang Philippines no matter what the crisis. And sama-sama po tayong bumangon muli at ipakita at ipagmalaki sa buong mundong tayo ay Pilipino, isigaw na malakas ang ating panalo, taos puso, taas mo kahit kanino. Pero sa mga manlulupig, hindi po tayo pasisiil. Lakad matatag, anumang delubyo ang dumaan. So once again, this has been another presentation of another Run and Gun Wednesday edition. And of course, another exciting Tamiya Mini Power Drive Racing Action live on DPAT TV, Don Patrick Aguilar on YouTube. So please, so for those who are still new to this channel, please like, follow, share, subscribe to this YouTube channel, DPAT TV, Don Patrick Aguilar, for more of Tamiya Mini Power Drive Racing Action and documentaries here on this YouTube channel regarding my Tamiya Mini Four-Wheel Drives as well. And also, DPAT Tamiya League on TikTok and DPAT's Tamiya League, An Evening with DPAT Aguilar and DPAT Aguilar on Facebook. So, once again, this has been another presentation of another exciting Tamiya Mini Four-Wheel Drive Racing Action on DTL SMC Season 2. Once again, Don Patrick DPAT Aguilar here saying, Shukran. Tusentak. God bless always, everyone.